All right, well, hello and welcome to the Tigers 2021 season review. And John, it's great to see
Danica?
you. You left me hanging there. All right.
I normally do this on my phone. On a computer, just a brave new world. It's like, wow, these computers. I think they're going somewhere.
It looks
I got to get one.
It's a good setup you've got going. All right, well, let's have a look at the Tigers season for this year. How would you describe it?
Uninspiring, disappointing for a club that promises so much. For whatever reason, they cannot make that next step. It's hard to put a finger on it, but it's just a very frustrating club at the moment.
Well, what do you look at? Why do you think that they're? Because it seems that they're always there at the last couple of weeks of the regular season. It's they're always a chance, a mathematical chance. Can they make it? Can they make it? Why can't they make that next step?
Well, it's mental. It's a mental thing. Whether they got the right people in the right positions, but they haven't made the semis for 10 years. So, for me, what the Tigers have to do is work out what they represent. Whether they're going to be an inner city club based out of Leichhardt, or they're going to be a team out of southwest Sydney around the Campbelltown area, out around there. Because at the moment, I just feel like they don't know what their identity is as a club. I think they've got to build from within. They're finding hard to get one of those elite players. For me, if they were going to if I was at the West Tigers, the first guy I would buy would be a Dale Finucane. But the challenge is to buy Dale Finucane at this stage of his career, you might have to pay $700,000. They've got to find a Dale Finucane who's 2021 and who does all the dirty work in the middle. You don't see it, pressure and kickers, all that mumbo jumbo stuff, which no one really wants to talk about. But they need to find that sort of player. At the moment, they haven't got that selfless, hardworking player who will do anything possible for his team and his teammates to win.
They've obviously built a brand new, well, they're in the midst of building a brand new centre of excellence out at Concord. Where do you think that they're going to be best suited to get players from that Campbelltown region? Because we often talk about it. There are so many players. It's such a big pool that they can get from. Where do you think that they should be setting their identity? The Campbelltown area or that Concord?
Definitely from that area. Look, I look at Manly. They've got some guys from west of Sydney, notably Schuster, Olakawatu, Sipley, some of the real big guys. They're from that area, from that southwest sort of corridor. They've got to get in there, get in the schools, make the kids growing up who have that athletic ability, who have some ability playing footy. You want them to aspire to be West Tigers. You don't want kids growing up out there want to play for Manly or play for the Roosters. You've got to identify the talent from a young age, bring them through, and we talk about the centre of excellence. Coach them up and then build from within. Tim Sheens is going to be a great buy there. He's a great educator. I'd say you'll oversee all those junior pathways, but they've got to lock in that area. They've got to own that southwest area of Sydney.
We have seen in the last couple of days a lot of news about Michael Maguire. It has been confirmed that he's staying on for next year, but this was played out quite heavily in the media. There was, supposed to be board meetings. There was a lot of speculation about his future. Do you think this is the right move, keeping him going forward?
Look, I do from the outside looking in. The easy option is to cave into that media pressure and just sack the coach. Then you're wallpapering over the problems, over the cracks. And the next coach comes in, he might get a reaction for 6 months or 18 months, but then the same rot sets in. So I applaud him for not caving into that media pressure. And I think moving forward, Michael Maguire and Tim Sheens moving forward could be a really good combination. But it's a tough one because the easy option is to sack the coach. But then who are they going to bring in? What are they going to change? Look, for me, that they've got to change the roster. They've got to get some guys that are just that hungry for success. And to do that, you've got to have players who buy into the club and will do anything for the club, who love the club, And the model is from Penrith. You see what Penrith have done for the last 4 or 5 years, 6 years. They've brought all those young players coming through, and you can see they really care about the place and they care about winning. That's what the Tigers have got to do.
Well, they do have room in the salary cap now. If you were them wanting to buy some players, you spoke about a player like a Dal Finucane. Who else would you be looking? What positions?
I think Tarek's got 2 more really good years in him, and he's a real pro. Tarek, really good fella. I think he'd really buy in. I think he'd be a good influence on some of those young back rowers and young forwards coming through. Look, they need to build their backs. They've got 2 really, really promising young players in Adam Dewey and Dane Laurie at the back. So you can build your backs around that. Who they're going to look in to play hooker? They got that young guy coming through. They got Jacob Little, but the other guy, young guy coming through, slips my mind. But they got the core of the players there to build a club around. It's just, the workers you put alongside of them. Who are the guys that are going to work and work and work and not shirk their hard work and not save up for that big play, but compete on every play. They need to find that sort of player or players, which is in that Dale Finucane mold. And I see at other clubs, 2 players I see. Sorensen from the Panthers, he's one of those. Jack Williams from Cronulla, who they just work and work and work and do the work no one sees. But the players see it and the coaches see it. So for me, that's what they need to find.
All right, and what about the halves moving forward? There was a lot of chopping and changing this year. Who do you think are the halves going forward for 2022?
Look, I've still got a wrap on Luke Brooks. I think he's potentially can be that real top line player, but it's hard for him because he's changing combinations all the time. Moving forward, they need to lock Dewey at 5'8". They need to just lock him there and leave him there, which hopefully they do. And hopefully those combinations building, that Luke Brooks can spearhead them to a semis. Look, I think he's a top line player, Luke Brooks, but I think he needs to work on those combinations, which is tough when they chop and change all the time.
All right, who is your 2021 season MVP?
I think Dane Laurie, without a doubt, provides that spark at the back and just that point of difference to play outside the structure. He's one of those Indigenous boys that he's got the magic in him and can do stuff where you go, wow, where did that come from? So I think Dane Laurie, and photo finish behind him, Dewey. I thought Dewey took his game to a whole new level this year. I see him as a real future representative player.
Okay. All righty. And what about your season 2022 ladder prediction for the Tigers?
They'll be in that 8th to 12th position like they had for the last 10 years.
Tough being a Tigers fan at the moment and for the last few years as well. And what are your best and worst moments of the year for them?
Well, the worst moment, without doubt, was the last game against the Bulldogs, who have struggled to score points all year, and they got beat 38-0. And they're their best performance. Had some really good wins, had some moments at Leichhardt, some moments of brilliance, but it's just so inconsistent.
All right, well, that is the Tigers 2021 season review. Hopefully some better luck for the Tigers next season.